Music has benefits, I'm not your ordinary cheat. I've got a lot of love to share with little short and nappy hair. Taking time to let you know, am I kind of beautiful? So dig it, you sexy girl, don't you be ashamed. No, 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 no. Music has benefits, I'm not your ordinary cheat. I've got a lot of love to share with little short and nappy hair. Taking time to let you know, am I kind of beautiful? So think it's a sexy girl, don't you be ashamed. No, 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 no.
Hey everybody, welcome to Jamila J Girl Talk on Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. Welcome back, Chuck.
Hey, it feels great to be back. Feels
I
great.
missed you.
Hey, I missed you too. Yes, indeed.
We had a great show last week, but it's not the same without Chuck.
No. I saw the last week. Excellent show. Shout out to Kendra. For holding it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. So we have a very special guest. Let me back up. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, the grandfathers, the stepfathers, the uncles that played father, just, all the men, blessings, and just have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. And enjoy yourself. Ladies, pamper these fathers. They didn't have to stick around. A lot of them didn't. So just pamper them, your children, love on you guys, and just have a great day. It's your day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we have a very special guest. And, it's Mr. Blackwell, Mike.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's going on, Mike? What's up?
All right now.
He's very special to the plus size community because as a rapper, he really shows the plus size models and plus size women a lot of love, and we want to show you, we want to support you, and we appreciate all your fabulous positive plus size songs, uplifting us without being so raunchy and using a lot of profanity. So we really appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate that too. Thank you so much. That means a lot.
We're gonna support you and continue to support you. So tell us about where you live and where you were born, and let's get started.
All right. Well, originally I'm from Steubenville, Ohio. For all the people that'll be watching that back home, I moved to Florida. Basically, the music scene wasn't happening. I came to Florida, and my very first start in the BBW was basically my own preference that I like BBW women. So I had a friend of mine said, "Why don't you just do a song about BBWs? Not raunchy, just like a play on words, just something positive." So I tried it, and I did a show, and I didn't think it was gonna. I didn't know how it was going to go. I'll be honest with you, and because I'm like, oh, the room for BBWs. If this don't go well, it's going to be real bad. They loved it. They loved it, and I shot like a little mini video of different models in the video, and they were loving it. So I said, okay, this may be my niche, because I know it was hard to compete with the other cats that are out there that are doing stuff because it wasn't my style. I'm more old school. So this fit perfectly. And I stayed on that, throwing songs about BBWs, various parties, and it has grown bigger than what I would thought. I ain't gonna lie. I did not think I would get so many responses. And I've had negative, I had positives, and mainly the negative has been, why didn't you ask me? And that's been mainly, and it's not like I pick anybody particular. I put it out there. I ask as many as that might be interested. Who comes through is, who comes through. But I like to support them because I've seen the negative side of it. I mean, I'm not a model by no means, but I've seen the negative responses from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter when they're posting pictures. And, those sometimes, I've had them say, hey, I'm going to post this picture. Man, you want to use this for a cover? And models on covers, we've seen half dress, almost butt naked people, models on covers with rappers and stuff like that. So I said, I want something to show that they classier than these other women. Because to me, I feel that they are. And I said, so you don't have to put yourself out there like that, whether it's music or doing a magazine, unless that magazine calls for it. I said, you don't have to put yourself out there like that. So I'm starting to learn more about what they go through and what I go through musically, especially doing music for BBWs, is because I think I've met 2 more rappers that actually do what I do. Okay. They also do music for BBWs, but there's more in R&B. They sing, and it's really good. And I actually seen a cat the other day. I can't remember his name on top of my head, but he put a video together with a bunch of BBWs walking around modeling in like classy just clothes, and he was just singing. It was right on the beach. I thought the video was great, and I told him, and he says, well, he hasn't got a lot of responses for it because he knows, sex sells, controversy sells. Right. And I told him, I said, don't quit from what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I said, if it's up there and you got 1 or 2 views, there's an audience for it. Just like what I do is more of, it's fun. It's more play on words, metaphors. Sometimes I'll incorporate pickup lines and people find it, it's hilarious, but it's not offensive. Right. A lot of people hear, like the latest song I have, Plus Size Love, everybody thought the title was like, Mike, what the heck was you thinking? But after they heard the song, it was like, Mike, that song's the bomb. But it's more about keeping it positive, have fun with it. And, I throw little metaphors in there, and I say, yeah, I get a little 4-letter words every so often because I get so into it that I just let go. My wife always tells me, when I get behind the mic, I'm not the same person anymore. I said, I grew up on hip hop. That's just in my blood. You put a mic in front of me, and I'm just gonna attack. Right. So it's been a learning experience. I have fun doing what I'm doing. I love doing it. I do a lot of promotion and marketing. And it's funny because I've got responses lately. I put out a couple projects already. They're like, when's the next Plus Size song coming? I'm like, really? I'm like, okay. I better get to work. I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, really? Yeah. I said, I got Plus Size Love. And they're like, yeah, but that was a couple months ago. We need another one. I'm like, but it's pretty cool because it's coming from, various models that I see either on like Instagram, Twitter. They'll send me messages. Hey, when you doing the next song? I said, well, let me go in my bag of tricks here. Let me get some work in because, I kind of sat back and enjoyed. I had a song Thickalicious, and now I have a song called Plus Size Love, and I've been enjoying it. And for me, if I could do a song and I can vibe to it, I'm sitting. I wait 2 or 3 days later, then I'll listen to it again. And if I can catch my head nod to it, I said, okay, I got something. Because my wife, she don't even listen to hip hop. She listens to some, but more, more like Pitbull or Flow Rider, stuff like that. So if I get her to vibe to it, I know I got something. Right. Because she's told me sometimes, she goes, hun, that's garbage. And, as a rapper, you're like, what you know about hip hop? And then I wait 2 or 3 days later, and I'm like, dang, she is right. This is garbage. So it's I can take criticism, but sometimes, especially when you're a performer,
right?
You have to sit back because your first reaction is, yeah, you don't know what I'm doing, and then you sit back and listen, and be like, yeah, they may have a point. So
Yeah.
I've gone through a lot of that. I've had songs where they just didn't hit.
Right.
And like I said, a lot of people ask me, put out a whole album, put out an EP. And I'm old school. Back in the day, that was the thing. Now, no one's gonna, you're not gonna put out a whole album and people buy it.
Right.
You may get maybe 5 to 10 people. I couldn't put out a whole album of 10 plus songs about plus size women. Right. Yeah, they may vibe to it, but they're not gonna buy that whole album because they don't know who I am. And so I do singles. I'll put out one song. I said I get people vibing to 2 or 3 songs. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna hit you with an album. And that's why I try to teach a lot of these young cats that are into music. They want to put out a 20-track album, and I said, "Are you famous?" Because no one. I mean, you want to be realistic. No one's going to buy it unless your name is Jay-Z, Drake, Megan Thee Stallion. Right. No one's going to buy it. I said the days of music have changed drastically, where they're just putting out a single. If that starts to vibe, they may put out another one. They maybe put out 3 singles before they drop a whole album. And I had to find out the hard way. And I try to teach these young cats. I said, take one song and just work that song for 3 to 6 months. Do promotion behind it, do shows, maybe commercials. Then hit them with another one. That one picks up. Then, work on an EP or an album. But get people familiar with who you are. I said a lot of people know, and it's funny because I never realized it when they realize who I am. They know I do plus size music. That's what they call it. I didn't even name it that. They say you do that plus size music, and I was like, what is plus size? Okay, I'm just gonna go with it. So a lot of music I do, I have to keep that in mind because they listen to it. And I recently just put out a brand new track with my boy J Michael J. It's called Money on the Floor. Now it's a club banger. It's about, we played it last night. People were twerking to it, dancing to it. It's a great track. But it's funny because some of them you'll be like, hey, don't you do that plus size music stuff? And I'm like, wow. Because I'm like, I don't even know you, but they see that name Blackwell. So it kind of feels good, but it kind of tells me, okay, I know where my lane is.
Right.
This is my lane. This is where I have to focus on. So it's been a nice little journey.
Yeah, man. It sounds like it. Now I just want to go back to okay, what has been like some of the trials and tribulations? You're a positive rapper, of course, State of Hip Hop now was all a lot of the drugs, sex, money, stuff like that. What are some of the trials and tribulations that you had to encounter? And also, as far as the state of hip hop, do you think we'll ever get back to those bars, those real bars, those metaphors that we had when we were coming up, back in the 80s and 90s?
Trials and tribulations. Oh God, I need to get a laundry list. As far as trials and tribulations in hip hop, I think my biggest, I guess you say good and bad, is working with different people.
Okay.
Is working with different artists because I take it seriously. For example, when I go in the studio, I'll book 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
My stuff is rehearsed. I go in there, I knock it out. I'd rather spend more time mixing the song and making it sound good. Get behind the mic, that should already be done once you hit the studio. And I've taken cats with me that I try to bring up. They want to smoke. They want to bring 8 or 9 friends and stuff like that. That's not what it's about. That's not what hip hop. Exactly. And I'm paying for it. And so, but that's not what hip hop was about. Right. Hip hop was about you go in there, you do your thing. Then you can sit back and be like, okay, I like this, I don't like this. That's been one trial, one tribulation with hip hop. The other a lot of it's been marketing and promoting because I literally have to sell myself. I literally have to convince them that this is worth it, because they're like, well, what makes you any different? It's about plus size women. Yeah, and so what's your point? So I really have to convince them, and that, hey, this is, it's hip hop and R&B, but this is stuff to get people on the floor. This is stuff that, you put people in your club, I will move them with the song. It's been hard. I keep at it, because it's in Florida. It's a little tricky, because Florida, they're not leaders, they're followers. So all the hip hop that's floating around, that's what they're following. And to me, I'm not gonna lie, I don't consider it real hip hop, because some of it, if they're not mumble rapping, sound like they're talking. Exactly. It's not like what you said, the bars. And I think eventually we will get back to doing the bars like Rakim, like Nas, like Big Daddy Kane, Big L. We'll get back to serious bars, but it's going to take a while to get. And I maybe I shouldn't say this, but this is the way I feel, to get some of these clown rappers out of here, because they're saying they rappers, but it's like it's almost like I know it's marketing. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I know it's about marketing, but it's just about, okay, anybody, okay, well, I'm just going to dye my hair and color my teeth, and I can rap. I'll make a song. And the thing of it is, it could be a hit.
Right.
And we're looking at it like, this is a hit.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to take a while. I think we will get back to that. It's going to take a while. Like, I heard Megan Stallion, and, people hear her new song, and they're like, oh, well, but if you do your history, Megan Stallion got bars. Yeah, that girl has got some bars. Now, the song you hear, it may not show that, but I've heard her freestyles. I've heard what she's had before. But on the flip side of that coin, you're dealing with marketing, promoting, what the label wants, so it's a real thin line. When I seen Rakim was doing a show for Juneteenth yesterday in Pittsburgh, that just gave me, we're getting there.
Right.
We're getting there. He had that whole crowd. We're getting there. Rakim come back, 60 years old. My mentor, the guy who I listened to, grew up, was still rocking the crowd.
Right.
With his bars from back in the day. We're going to get back to them bars. I think it's going to take, as far as radio and the public eye, it's going to take us to dominate those Billboard charts. Right. It's going to take somebody from back in the day to shoot up them charts, like L Cool J or MC Light. It's going to take an artist from back in the day,
right,
knock out these other cats and be like, whoa, wait a minute. She's a legend, and she's got a #1 song.
You still? You breaking up? Can
you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah. Breaking up a little bit again.
I'm still here.
Okay, so okay, good. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
I hear you good.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah, you're right, man. Like I said, right now, all I hear is hooks and beats. Don't get me wrong. I love the beats and I love the hooks. Some of the hooks are great, but again, like I said, I don't hear that top notch. And like you said, as far as Megan Thee Stallion, you're right. Back, like even Nicki Minaj, if you look back at her freestyling days, she had some really hard bars back then too. Like really, good stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to flow with what the record company wants. You know what I mean? And how to transition you into being
exactly
about to doing something that, I mean, of course, money. I mean, you dare to make money. Don't get me wrong. And I understand, hey, look, if they're gonna give me $2 million to do this, then I'll do what I got to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Make something happen, because that's at the end of the day, that's what you're rapping to make money, especially if you're trying to get a record deal. You're putting records out. You're putting out records more, but you're putting these things out, and you want people to buy, you want people to hit. You want that thing to hit. So again, it's just different now, different than we were coming up.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll get there eventually. I just think we just and I'm not saying like the rappers out now that they're bad or anything. but there's nothing that stands out.
Right.
There's really nothing that stands out. I mean, I ain't knocking their grind. Hey, get your money, do your grind, make your money. But also remember too, there's a million of us out there.
Right.
So you got to have something that's, I always like DMX. I love DMX because when he first came out, that threw me all off. Someone with that gritty voice, and his lyrics, it was like what you would say to somebody on the street.
Right.
So it was like he used to have lines. He's like, nosy people can get it too. Oh, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I mean, I love what he did. I mean, not every. That's the name of the game. But he said a lot of lines in his songs that my family would say to each other, and this was like, whoa. I said, I loved them. So I think we will eventually, once we get back to doing bars, and hopefully maybe somebody will just leave auto tune to T-Pain. Because
that's true. I get tired of it.
We'll be okay. Oh my goodness. I never did it because for the simple reason when I'm on stage, you can't, I don't have that kind of equipment and that kind of money to make sure, I'm doing, and I don't really care for it because I want people to hear me.
Right. Yeah.
I want people to hear me, not this. No, I'm not knocking T-Pain or even Roger Troutman because he invented that. Right. And so when, hey, I think it's great, but when you're a rapper and you're supposed to drop bars, people want to hear them bars. They used to frown on like when Drake he would do it and then he would start singing. And they're like, oh, well, he's singing. But the thing with Drake is he was versatile.
Right.
He could do the bars and then he could drop the singing. Me, I think that was as clever as it can be. I said, I don't knock him at all. I said, it's not my style, but Drake does it very well, and I don't knock him for it because, there's not many rappers can sit there, do 16 bars, and then turn around and start singing the hook. Drake is a mastermind at that, so I give him props for that. But I think a lot of these young rappers, it definitely, the money thing is unbelievable. When they're getting the money and I think sometimes, my mom always said money will mess you up if you let it.
Yeah.
And, when I see these rappers making 2 or 3 millions and when they're giving back, okay, I respect that. All right, do what you do. I respect that. Cause to me, to get in this business and to make that kind of money, for me, if it was me, I give back. I want to give back. I want to better us as Black people. Long as my family's set, okay, let me get some other people set up.
Right.
So that way we all, we all get that mountaintop. And some of them, they want to take pictures with the money and throw it in pictures and stuff. And next thing you know, they get robbed or killed. Keep that on the DL.
Or
if you making that, make your money. Keep it on the DL. Go help when you're going to go help.
Right.
I never understood going and flashing it.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
So, Chuck, we have any feedback from our audience?
Not yet. We just got people saying hi, but
okay. So, Mike, how did you get started in the rap game? Like you said, you started when you were 15. So, how did that happen?
Well, to be honest with you, my parents were Motown and gospel. There was no hip hop in my house at all. But my dad seen I was really getting into it. So first record he bought me was the Sugar Hill. Both listened to it. We had no idea what we was getting into. He said, I'm gonna listen to it. He said, if there's any cussing in this song, this record's going back. Because it was like, when he said the peas are soggy, chicken tastes like wood. I said, hey, that's my aunt. She can't make chicken for nothing. I said, hey, I like this song. So I got hooked, and he bought me, the next record he bought me after that was Run DMC. There was Run DMC, Peter Piper. And I heard that, and I was hooked. My dad went out and got me a DJ set, and we was used to around the way we would do like yo mama jokes. Well, what I would do was I would make them rhyme, and people was like, "Oh, you a rapper?" So I'm like, okay. So I would listen to these records over and over again, and while I'm mixing, I would come up with these just goofy rhymes and stuff. And when my mom finally realized that there was no stopping me, she's like, okay. She goes, if you're gonna do this, be respectful to women, and you ain't got to curse at nobody. Because if they want to get cursed at, they can get that at home. They don't need to hear it on the record for 3 minutes. I'll never forget she told me that. So I said, okay. And I started doing DJing. I started doing stuff around the way. I got known as Mixmaster Mike. And I was like, okay, I got into it. And then after that, I had to sell my DJ equipment to go to college. I went to college for music. And I learned all about the business. And for me, it was a culture shock because to know there's that many people out there trying to do what I'm doing. So I was like, oh, it's a competition. I said, this ain't no joke. Yeah. So I would go, my way of kind of combating with that was I would learn, like, listen to people talk about pickup lines or metaphors. And then when I started hearing like Rakim, that just triggered it all. So I was constantly embedded in listening to hip hop. And I think I got really, I won't say good at it, but I will say I got better at it once I got like around 16, 17, because I had so much things that I experienced that I could sit and write. And to this day, when I go in the studio, I still use a pad and pen. I've seen rappers do it on the phone, but I still got the pad and pen from back when I was 15, how I write.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that you say that because I do the same thing. I mean, not writing rhymes, but I'll use a pen and pad to write things down versus putting it on my phone or laptop or whatever, because I just like to have the hard copy just in case something happens, to that computer on the phone, you know what I mean? So, yeah, and I think we got into hip hop too around the same time. My first, I'm a DJ as well, and my first, my first was, what was I? Let me think. I gotta go back. Well, you say Sugar Hill Gang, of course, but I think when I started really getting into hip hop, and I think my first album. Let me think. That's a good question. When was my first album?
Oh wow!
It had to be. Man, it was old school stuff like Bootzilla. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna go back. You know what I'm saying? So those are like my first albums because my aunt and them, they used to always listen to music. So they were like, Bootsy Collins, this. I mean, they used to go crazy over that. So I say, it's okay. So I constantly, would listen to it, and it was pretty. It was all right. And then I started really getting into like, the hip hop. I think around my favorite rapper at that time was LL, of course. You know what I mean? Because he came out with the radio. Right. That was one of my favorite records coming up, Radio. And then from there, Public Enemy. I mean, I can go on and on. That was my favorite storyteller ever, and he still is to this day.
He's the greatest.
Right? So I mean, I can go on and on as far as hip hop is concerned, but yeah, man, it's just my first album, the first one I loved, and I probably wrote it to death was Radio. So
okay,
we came up around the same era, so that's awesome. Because we came when hip hop just started on into the 90s, which was the best hip hop and R&B ever. So you know what I mean. But we do got some comments out there, so let's jump right into them. Let's see, we got about 2 of them out there. We got a Sky Darling. She says, "Hello, fam, and happy Father's Day to all my kings, uncles, brothers, grandpa, of course, all baby daddies." Hey, thanks, Sky. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate that. She also says, "Hello, days, girl talk, and I'm always feeling good with positive talk." That's what we do here. Always positive, nothing negative.
Yes.
And she also says, "Looking fab, Jamila and Chuck." Thank you.
Of course.
I try. You know what I mean? I try a little something. She says, "Hello, DJ Michael Blackwell."
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Out there. Hey, thanks, God. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, I want to also give a shout out to Regina Butcher for tuning in. We got Breon Nichols. We got Letitia Fuller. I always mess up Shanique. I think it's Shanique Watson. Am I correct? Or
Shaniqua?
Maybe it's Shaniqua. Yeah, Watson. Yeah. And Carmen Scott. Shayna Gordine, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. We got my man Wayne Ledoux. He's in the building. And she also says, love my, what'd you say, Kel? Love my Kel.
Callie.
Is that what you trying to say? She put it back. Okay, cool. Maybe she put that. And she just says hanging out. So again, thanks for everybody for tuning in. We definitely appreciate the love and support. Thank you. So,
Mike, you got a lot of ladies watching. You're gonna have to split some plus size love. You're gonna get some plus size love. You do a little something, dickalicious. Do a little something for us.
Oh, she put it.
Okay. I knew she gonna put me on the spot.
Yes.
Okay. It's funny because now you got me in a music mind now.
Yeah.
That's right. You got zone, getting that zone. You know how it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I'm gonna do a little freestyle.
Okay. A little freestyle for everybody.
Just a little freestyle for the plus size ladies.
Yes.
The name's Blackwell. Let me let you know this the way this flow is going to go. So open your eyes. I'm hitting on the ladies out of plus size. I love you. And now hold nothing back. Because, baby, you got it like that. So let them all talk. You just take your walk. And let the guys in the club, they were looking stark. But I'm going to tell you right now how it's going down. When it comes to curvy, the plus size, all around, I love every pound. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's how I get down. So listen to what I got to say. I ain't playing. And let them other jokes keep saying and what they got to say. But let me tell you, a Blackwell's a name. I'm coming straight to your face. I don't care what you are or any race, plus size, curvy, and thick. My name is Blackwell, and I want you to remember this.
All right. You got that. You got the old school flow. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love that.
That's how we do it.
I love it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
That was totally off the top of your head, huh?
That was off the top of my head.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. That's freestyle.
Yeah, freestyling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, when you first came out, you said you were into gospel. You couldn't listen to any rap. So when you first came out, were you planning on rapping? Was that your goal or what? I mean, what was the whole goal as far as the music was concerned?
My goal was to come out and do production.
Okay.
Because I like the way I grew up on, like, the first instruments I played was guitar and piano. And the first singer I ever heard was Stevie Wonder. Superstition will always be my number one song because I learned how to play. So when I heard Rappers Delight, how they mix music with hip hop, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to mix R&B with hip hop for the simple reason it seemed like everybody loved it. It didn't go to one certain genre. Everybody knew that song from the Rappers Delight. Everybody, it brought people together. So I said, that's what I want to do. I want to make hip hop music where, it combines both. And the rap part of it was just, I call it a fluke because I did it as a hobby. I had no plans on actually dropping bars. I just learned how to do it because everybody else, growing up back in the day, we would sit outside and stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh man, do freestyles." And so I was like, I want to learn to do that. So I learned I would just take random things in the house and just start rhyming together to create my own freestyle. But my main goal was to do production. What got me into doing getting in the studio is when I went to college. And at the college, we had to come up with an artist, make him an actual, this is going to show my age, make a cassette tape, put it in the store at National Record Mart, which don't even exist anymore. Yeah. We had to do advertising, marketing with an artist. They picked me. And I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, I got to write 10 songs. I'm like, about what? So we actually put it together. This was our graduating grade. And we passed, but I learned how to do it a lot better because, like, growing up, my mom kept us dressed. She, my mom always told me, as a black male, you go out in the world, you get dressed. I don't care if you go in the grocery store. Make sure you look decent because you don't know what's going to happen to you. Right. So on the cover, when I don't have a picture of the cover, but if you look at the cover, it looks like a gospel album. I got suit and tie, I got the suspenders, because that's all I knew. Because my mom, they're like, and my teacher was like, "What kind of record is this?" She goes, "Is this hip hop or is this gospel?" I said, "Oh, it's hip." I was dressed to a T,
right?
But I was so embedded with that from my mom, I didn't know how to do the hip hop look. And so I was like, okay. And after that, I think we did one more cassette tape. And that's when I knew how to, when Belle Biv DeVoe was on, I had the airbrush shirt and the hat with my name on it and stuff. But that very first one, everybody, even my wife seen it, she was like, "What was you thinking?" I said, that. She was like, "You look." I mean, I look great.
Right.
I look it, but she was like, "You just look like a gospel album. Like you about to talk about Jesus." And I was like, "Not really." I said, so it was a learning process.
What was the name of the album?
But as you know,
I'm just curious.
It was actually called. Oh my God, this is way back. It was actually called Michael M.B. Blackwell. That was the name of the cassette, or I'll say album, because now I'm showing my age. It was called Michael M.B. Blackwell, and I found someone selling it on eBay. And and it was funny because they're like, "Mike, you don't use your whole name if you're a rapper. You got to have a rap name." But that was learning how to do this business, and from there it kind of grew. I had so many different nicknames. People call me MB, Mixmaster Mike, and all this stuff.
Okay.
But as I got into the promotion and marketing, that's when I really learned how to how to fix it myself. If I'm going to be out there, how to structure myself to be in this business, because like I said, I had my mom's vision in my head, and I was like, I got to put that aside for a minute because this is the music business.
Yeah, exactly.
Do
you play any instruments or sing, Mike?
I play piano, drums, and guitar.
Wow.
And it's a shame that I hadn't had a chance to really get back into it a lot, because things have changed so drastically. Where I'm making beats on my phone, or but the more and more I start hearing different music, especially I've gotten a lot. Believe it or not, I've gotten R&B a lot more. Like groups like Her. The way her music is just phenomenal. And I'm starting to get more into like the live instruments, because I think what a lot of rappers don't realize, that sometimes it's hard trying to get a band together, but if you do a live show with a band and you're hip hop, the crowd is yours. First time I got to see the Roots, that blew me out the water, because I'm like, what? This is live hip hop. This ain't just a DJ. They had a drummer, they had trumpet players, they had guitars. I'm like, oh my God. But I want to get back eventually into that live setting where you have a band that's out there, because for an audience, it's more authentic to them. They're like, well, dang, this ain't coming from a machine. This ain't just coming from a backing track. This is, they out there doing their thing. Right. So I really can't wait to get back into that live aspect.
Awesome. Hey, we got some comments out here. We got Scott Darling. She says Oakland. She's shouting out Oakland. So shout out to Oakland. She also says, "I am in love." When you did that freestyle, she's in love. So
thank you. Thank you.
She says, DJ Michael Blackwell, do you remember True Magazine?
I've heard of that. It's been a while, but I've heard of that before.
Okay.
I don't know much about it, but I heard of it.
Yeah. And she also says, I still have my Technique turntables and drummer machine. CR55MK. Okay, go ahead, Scott.
Oh my goodness, I remember that. I know the drum machine.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Let me find out making beats and stuff behind our back.
Oh my God, I know that drum machine.
Then she says, what DJ pools do you recommend today?
I haven't really got into many DJ pools, to be honest with you. But if you're gonna look for a DJ pool, the best thing I would do, because there's so many out there, I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
I would definitely, if you go on the internet and if you find a DJ pool, make sure there's a way to contact somebody,
Yeah.
not just by email. That's how the best way you know they're legit. Because I found out the hard way trying to send email. If there's a phone number where you can connect with somebody personally, go with that one. Not saying that the other ones are bad, but for me, I'm kind of old school. I want to hear a voice.
Right.
I want you to. I want to hear what you can do for me, and because I mean, I'm forking money, and I want to, be involved in this. I want to hear somebody. It makes it more legit. Because a lot of the email ones, you just send me an email, just send me this, and get you a phone number.
What's a DJ pool?
Scott,
what is that?
It's where you could download records, and put them on. Because everything's digital. Everything's digital now, so you actually, could download different songs. I'm gonna tell a BPM Supreme. That's a great one. Check that out, guy. Check out BPM Supreme. I used to deal with franchise record pool. That was a Funk Master. I think Funk Master Flex has something to do with that. But I switched to a BPM Supreme. So check them out. They have something for everybody. It's an awesome DJ pool. She says, is Pro Tools still an industry standard?
Yes, a lot of people still use Pro Tools. For the simple reason there's many different versions. So you definitely have to search. Like, I use Pro Tools in the studio.
Okay.
But the version we have is the brand new version. So I mean, Pro Tools is definitely, for me, it works great. I work with it. I study it because I mean it's a it's a lot to learn. But if you're in this business and you want a good quality, I would stick with Pro Tools, to be honest with you.
Okay, awesome. And I think she said pro. I guess she meant drum tools, pro drum tools. And then she says, "Is that DJ pool good for artists?" Yeah, check it out. Check it out. You don't have to download it right away. You can go run on there and visit it and see what you like. Again, it's called BPM Supreme. Check it out. They got something for everybody. All kinds of tools on there that you can use. So definitely check that out. So I need my sponsorship now. It's like, let me stop.
For sure.
Yeah, I want to give it out, someday. But since we're talking about sponsor, I gotta give our sponsor a shout out, which is the A Game. So I'm gonna play that commercial. We'll be right back with my man Michael Blackwell.
Yes.
And that is the game, great for energy, strength, vitality, and libido. So definitely check it out. I have 3 free samples left. Give me a call at 302-723-2836. Again, 302-723-2836. Get your free sample of the A Game. It's for men only. Definitely check us out. It's a hot seller. So that is it.
Yeah. Hey. So, Mike, what are some of the groups you opened for?
Yes.
I opened for Bone Thugs and Harmony, LL Cool J, Kanye West. My very first show I ever opened up for was Run DMC, which was probably the most awkward rap show I've ever done in my life. For the simple reason, I had a guitarist, and we had a kind of a rock song, but it was rock and rap. We did not know we was opening for Run DMC. They did not even tell us. This was in Pittsburgh at a place called Graffiti. And they said they needed an opening act for a rap group. So I was like, okay. I jumped on board. And at that time, I was young, well, wasn't focused, and didn't get everything together. Just jumped on board, and we get to the venue. And I was like, okay. I said, well, I'm all pumped up, and I had my graffiti shirt on, and I was like, yeah, we gonna kill it. I got a guitarist,
right.
And we get there, and we're sitting in this green room, probably about big as a closet, and DMC comes in the room.
Wow.
And I look up, and I didn't even and the guy that does rock, he knew of him, but he didn't really know him.
Right.
So he came in the room, and he says, "You to open an act," and I'm like, "Yes, sir." Because I'm like, this is a legend. And he says, "Are you ready?" I said, "I was ready till I seen you," because now I'm like, what's going on? I'm thinking like, they didn't tell me this. And he goes, "Yeah, because we're gonna open for you." And I said, "Okay." And he says, "You got this. Don't worry, you got this." And I literally just was like, oh my God, I gotta remember my lyrics. I was so pumped until I met him, because we didn't know. I had no idea. And so we were heading out to the stage. And there's Run. Right before I go on stage, Run is right there. And he looks at me and he goes, "I'm going to say a prayer for you. God bless, and go rock the mic." I'll never forget those words. And I walked out there. The show went good. I was nervous as heck. I got off the stage. I had a little crowd cheer. It was like, oh, okay, that was pretty cool. And he walked up to me and he said, "I know you were nervous, son." But he says, you pulled it off. He says, "But you wasn't ready for this, were you?" And I couldn't lie to him. I'm like, "No, sir, I was not." And he was like, "You don't have to call me sir. You can call me Run." I said, "I come from a military family, and you guys are legends." I said, "To me, yes, sir." So it was awkward, but it was a learning lesson. Be ready to be ready, because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. That just threw me so off. I opened for Bone Thugs and Harmony. It was a place called Mr. Small's Theater. And this was the really first time I ever freestyled in front of a lot of people. Oh. And because we were performing and the sound went off. The sound guy messed up and all the sound left. Only thing that was on was the mic. His turntables, everything wasn't working. And I was right in the middle of a song. And at first I was like, oh God, how am I going to do? These are hundreds and hundreds of people. I got Bone Thugs and Harmony in the back room. So I just started freestyling whatever I could. I started picking out people in the crowd and just started freestyling off what they were wearing, where I was at, and everything. And when the music came back on again, and it was instrumental. So it was kind of a blessing, because I just went with it. And it was like, oh man, that was kind of cool how you just switched it to a freestyle. Little did they know, I had no idea what I was going to do. I was scared out my mind. I'm like, oh my God, I need my music. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I even had a hype man with me at the time. And he looked, I said, you just keep hyping them up. I'll think of something. And I was just going through the crowd, and I was like, going to different people and seeing what they were wearing. I was like, girl, you look cute. How you all dressed in blue? And I was just little things like that. I just kept going with it. Because I was like, what the hell am I going to do when I got no music? So every show I have had an experience that I had to learn from. I opened for LL, and I was like, oh, I couldn't wait to meet LL. I was all pumped up because, at that time he rocked the Kango, the Dookie chain. And, all I knew was I'm bad. I'm thinking like, oh man, okay. All right. And this was at Three River Stadium when it was still there. And I was in a stadium. I was like, oh, this is cool. So he comes back and I walk past him and he looks at me and goes, hey son, he goes, you the opening act? I said, yeah. I said, hey, great to meet you. He goes, come here, I want to talk to you for a minute. And I'm like, oh, man. I said, here we go again. I said, and he sat me down and he talked to me about the business. It was not the same LL you seen on stage. He actually said, because, man, when you get he's telling me about when you get money, if someone tries to sign you, watch out for con artists. And I just looked at him. It was like a big brother. And I was just like, oh, my God. And that'll always stick to me. And I was just so like, cool. And me and him were the same age. That's the thing that blew me away at that time. So it was just like, wow, okay. So, I mean, I've had a lesson at a lot of the shows I've done opening for big artists. That's why I have a lot of respect for them. Not only just because they music, because they talk to me like people, like they were a big brother, giving me lessons and stuff. I haven't met Rakim, but that's still my goal before I leave this earth, because that was my mentor. One day I'm gonna meet him. But I got to open for him. I opened for Usher. That was actually here in Florida. He was really nice, a real cool guy. He came over. He told me, knocked on my little dressing room. I call it dressing room closet, because when you open the act, you don't get nothing big. And he's just like, "Hey, you Blackwell?" I said, "Yeah." I say, "What's up?" He goes, "Knock him out." I said, "Okay." He was real cool, real cool. I never really had any bad experiences. I've had, like, we did a show where a couple Florida artists got to open for Drake when he was here in Florida. There was me. I think it was like 6, 7 other artists. But he stayed to himself. He didn't want to talk to anybody. So, but I mean, they say he was cool, but he was more focused on him and for his show. So I can respect that.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta get in that. So get in that mindset. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's where I had to learn, because through all the shows I did, before I went on, I'm sitting up there passing out shirts and talking instead of staying focused. So that's what I had to learn as I got older. That my wife tells me, because you go to a show, when she goes to a show, she'll be like, just let him go to himself, because I have to sit and get right, my mind focused, because once I hit that stage, that's it. There ain't no repeats.
Yeah. Hey,
Mike, you had, go ahead.
No, Jamila, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, there's one. I think it was Grandmaster Flash that's on one of your Thickalicious plus size videos. Was that Grandmaster Flash, Millie Mill?
Yeah, Millie Mill.
Okay. Millie Mill. How do you know him?
Oh, that one. You know what? The funny part is, it was the thing called Cameo, where you can go on and get people to send you messages. So I sent him a message about doing, hey, could you do this for my song? And so he actually emailed me back. He goes, "I'm not going to do a Cameo." He says, "I'm just going to send it to your phone." I goes, "I'm going to do it right here." He says, "I'm not." He goes, "No, don't." He goes, "I'm not going to do all that Cameo crap." He says, "Let me hear the song." He says, "and I'll send you something." I sent him the song. He sent me that video back of him at the gym, because it actually goes longer than that. And he's just like, "Hey, man," he goes, "there you go." And believe it or not, a month after that, when I had that video, they came here to Florida. I was so pumped up that my wife sent me. She goes, "Look, I got you the tickets. Go see Sugar Hill Gang." Because I'm like, that's like the ultimate for me. That's what I grew up on. And I went there. I got to meet him. I met Scorpio, all of the Sugar Hill Gang members. And he told me, he goes, "I sent you that video, right?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "You like it?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You too big for me not to like it." I'm like, he's huge. I'm like, "Yeah, I like it." And he was cool. It was I was so honored to meet him.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And we got some comments out there again. And we have Sky Dawn. She says, "Split sheets are important. Should that be established before the artist begin recording, writing, and composing?"
Yes. Yes, you should take care of that before you do anything. I do. Some people may feel differently. I do everything with contract, split sheets, agreements. All that is done from the door, because going and recording and doing afterwards, you're taking a 50-50 chance that it's not going to work out. Even with people I know, I just recently did a song with a friend of mine, J. Michael J. We're cool, we buddies, but business is business.
Yeah.
So everything we do was beforehand. We took care of the agreements. We got the split sheets done. We took care of the contract of the song. So we did all that beforehand, and then we went in and recorded it. And I know there's a lot of artists will work with me because they like that I do that. A lot of young cats don't want to. They're like, "No, we don't do that because we can just shake hands." No. It's called music business. Because I did that once. I did that once and made that mistake. So I tell them, it's not that I know everything. It's just I've had it happen to me. I've shook somebody's hand and been like, "Okay, yeah, I'm on the track." 2 months later, I hear the track. I'm not even on it,
Mm.
and it's my beat, and I didn't sign anything. And the song they profited. There's really nothing I could do because I didn't sign nothing. I shook his hand. So from then on, I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
What's a
That's true.
split sheet? I don't know what that is. As a what, like a model release or something? What is that?
Um, it kind of varies. Split sheet, like the split sheets that I've had, kind of it's involved in a contract where you're basically mapping out like what everybody gets that's on the song. Um,
Okay.
like the split sheets, I have what they call a split sheet contract where it covers everything from the royalty percentages, promotion, marketing, that they allow each other to appear when you're doing concerts, how much percentage you get. It's my the ones that I used, I got from an entertainment lawyer. It's all in one, and I use those for every single artist before we do a project. Um, and like I said, some of them don't want to get involved with me because I do that, but I've been down that road where I've lost songs. I've been down the road where I've heard songs on the radio. I did, but there's not a thing I could do about it because I didn't. I didn't go the right way to do it. So like I said, the ones that I use, because there's various split sheets, but the ones that I use I can't remember the name of it, but it contains everything. It covers everything. Mine's almost like it's like 9 or 10 pages.
Yeah, you can go online.
And once you sit down and agree to all this, online, if you Google it, it'll give you all kinds.
Okay.
It just depends on what you're doing. If it's a vocalist or it's a collaboration. But I use it. I use it all the time. So it's just my bad experience. I'll never do it again.
Yeah, that's
I'll never not use that again.
That's great advice too, because you see that a lot. People shaking hands, and you give them a contract. They're like, "What's this? We pulled? Nah, sign this just in case. You never know."
Exactly.
So, and I think we answered this, but I'm not sure. But she says, "What is the most challenging experience when you was on tour?"
The most challenging is probably, I would say, you got to stay in focus because there's a lot of things that'll throw you off. Like when I was doing shows, you can't get mixed in all the hype, especially if you're an opening act and you're popular. You got people that, oh man, we're gonna come to your show, and you get people that may have heard your songs. Right. You've got to stay focused on you. And if it's opening for a big name artist, okay, you got a big name artist. Put that in the back of your head. Focus on you. That for me has always been a challenge because, for me, some of the groups I open for have been like, they're legends. So it's like, I got to put that in the back of my mind and focus on my set. Focus on going out there and making myself look good. They already look good.
Right.
They already established. So the challenging thing, like I said, being on tour is probably just staying focused. You just gotta learn to stay focused. Don't worry about your the friends and whatnot or whatever, who's coming, who's not coming, and just worry about you. Worry about going out there and make a good show, because I always tell other artists, no matter what, friends or family or whatever, when you go out on that stage, you need to go make some new fans, or some fans be like, okay, never mind, I ain't messing with this. But you want those new fans. So
yeah,
I would say stay focused is the biggest challenge.
Yeah, that's awesome. What female MC? She also says, what female MC do you like today?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, Megan Thee Stallion. I ain't gonna lie. I like
Megan Thee Stallion. You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna lie, and the reason why is just because I've heard her bars. I've heard what she's done in the past. Megan Thee Stallion. Nothing against Cardi B or Nicki Minaj. Because I don't want them coming after me for that. It's just I've heard Megan Thee Stallion in the past, and the bars. She's good. She got some serious bars, and I love what she does. I love the fact that she's taking this business and manipulating it to her. She's taking it and she's making her money, and I like her. I have respect for her. I like what she does.
Okay, Okay, I got all right. And then we got she says, have you rapped with any female MCs back in the day?
Unfortunately, no. I wish, because there's a lot out there that are not being heard. There's
Yeah.
so many out there not being heard. There was a plus size MC. I can't remember her name offhand. She was on YouTube, and she actually subscribed to my channel. And I heard her stuff, and I'm like, wow, she's really good. But it's just they're not being heard. And I mean, I would love to work with some. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to work with some female MCs because there's a lot out there. There's a lot out there that people just don't know.
Okay. And she also says, have you ever met UTFO or the Fat Boys?
Well, I never met the Fat Boys. I would have loved to. I could have. I probably would have been one of them because they like to eat, and so do I. I ain't gonna lie. I joined that group. They had fun. UTFO. Only person I met was Mixmaster Ice.
Okay.
We talk on Instagram, me and him, because he actually lives in Columbus, which is where he lives. Him and my cousin, they work out together. So he's heard my music. He's doing a little segment on one of my songs coming up. I talked to him, just the educated rapper. He passed away, and Cameo. I talked to him once because I know. God bless him. He's going through. He has cancer, so he's fighting cancer right now. So God bless him. He's in my prayers because he's one of the legends of hip hop. But I got to talk to Mixmaster Ice. Real cool.
Man. All right, and we also have another question. Sky's killing it today. She says, I know back in the day, a lot of artists party, drink, etc. Would you recommend a clause be put in the artist or artist contract before doing the show?
I definitely would recommend it. I've seen some, I'll say, horror movies where I've taken an artist in the studio, they did their song, we go into the show, we all set, and then all of a sudden they want to party up before they get on stage.
Yeah.
And then when they get on stage, it's a train wreck.
Right.
And it's like a clause in before the show would definitely, I mean, unless you Snoop Dogg, then hey, you do what you do. But
right.
As far as an upcoming artist, I would say put a clause in there. Do all that stuff after the show.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never been one to go through. The day of my show, I'm the most serious. I'm nowadays I'm most serious about doing what I do after the show. Party up.
Yeah.
Get your party on, but wait till the show is done. Have something to celebrate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we celebrate before the show goes. I don't know. Anyway, they just happy to be there. That's all. But guy says, can you own two publishing companies under the same company?
As far as I know, I don't know. I have mine under BMI. I'm not saying you can't. It's just something I do not know, but I will find out about it though. Okay. That's a good question. I'd like to find out that myself.
Yeah, it's an awesome question. Let's see. Now she says, thank you so much for giving all of us this choice industry class DJ Michael Blackwell, and Jamila and Chuck. Yes, indeed. Hey, thanks for the question too, because
that was good.
And she says,
thank you.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we
like.
like.
You feel good. What's going on, Kendra? Thanks for hi, fam. And Sky speaking to her, she says, hello, Kendra Moore, and she says, I have ASCAP. Okay, cool. All right, hey, that was awesome combo.
Yeah,
learned a lot.
Mike,
learned a lot, definitely.
Yeah, Mike, you've been very, very educational. But how long have you been doing plus size? I guess music, for lack of a better word. I remember you maybe 2 years ago. Is that when you first started?
I would say about two and a half years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
I started doing plus size music. It just, for me, like I said, it became my lane of music because the stuff that was out there, it was good, but I just couldn't. I didn't feel I could compete with it. I needed to find my own niche.
Right.
And the more people that I got to like it, I said, well, hey, they like my music. I'm going to cater to them. A lot of people have came to me, and it's funny, models too. They're like, oh, you only talk about plus size women. You don't like skinny women. It's not about that at all. That has nothing to do with it. Right. I said, it's the fact that, and believe me, I've got, oh God, I got them all. It was just one, it is my preference. So I ain't going to lie about that. And I said, two, I said, they never had nothing for them.
Nope.
Exactly.
They have never had nothing for them, not at all. I said maybe mention in a song or two, but not a whole song that's directed at them in a positive way. I said so. I figured, say, hey, I'm gonna do my best shot, and that's what I come at. I still get that now. Even when I came out with Plus Size Love, I still, well, why gotta be Plus Size Love? Why couldn't you? I'm
why
like,
not?
Seriously. I'm like,
come on. They have everything. It's, when we have something, it's always something said. And how did you hook up with my girl Jacqueline?
Believe it or not, I seen a picture of her on I think it was Facebook, and it was a model picture, and I sent her my song, and she goes, "Oh, well, we should work together." I didn't know how it was going to go. I had no idea. And believe it or not, she goes, she's in the business, so she definitely knows the business part of it. And we just kind of synced because I was telling her, look, this is what I want to do for this. Do you think this would be good? She said yes, said no, why don't you try this? And we just end up linking really, as really good friends. And when it was funny because I think it was like almost a year and a half before I even got to meet her face to face. And when I met her face to face, me and him were talking, and it was funny because he was like, I got a picture of her you should use for your cover. You should use it. And I mean, me and him we're like brothers. Shout out to you, Rudolph. And me and Jacqueline ended up being close, and she was doing different things with modeling, and we just synced up together. And I was, using her on different covers and stuff like that. And she was also giving me other models to work with, but it just wasn't, it was falling through because it was neither, they would charge some crazy outrageous price, or they would send me these graphic pictures that I was like, no, that's not what I'm about. I'm not trying to make that kind of video or make that kind of song. And so I ended up using her, and we've just been friends and collab ever since. She does great work. She gave me a lot of advice because she knows the model side of it. I don't. I just know what I see and what I hear, but she's in it. So she tells me all the things I've been through, people that will come to me who won't work with her and try to, get me to work with them and all that crazy drama. I don't have time for that. I'm too old. I just want to put together a good project, make some people happy. If I make some money off of it, take care of my family and live. That's it.
Cool. That's it. Shout out to Jacqueline Davis and Chuck. When we had our first live party, I think we used one of his videos. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, we used one of his videos.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that.
And thank you so much. What we'll do too is put your videos on Feel Good Talk and on our Facebook pages, Choice TV, so people can really see that plus size love and Dickalicious and all that
definitely. I mean, they're awesome and they're tasteful too.
It's very tasteful.
Exploitation is awesome. So
thank you, I appreciate that, guys.
We got some more comments out here. We got Sky Dawn. She says hashtag plus size music, hashtag plus size beats.
Oh, thank you.
Plus size love, hashtag plus love us. So
thank you.
And she says, do you like Lizzo?
I love Lizzo. I love Lizzo. Lizzo is the best. She don't care. She gonna put it out there. Lizzo is the best. I love it. I can't wait for her to come out with something new. Because if you don't like her, like she said, you don't like it, don't look.
And she says she has an idea. What is that idea, Sky darling? My man Quincy, what's going on, brother? Thanks for tuning in. He says in today's music, it seems like artists has to sound like the Migos or Young Thug to be signed to a label. Do you ever see music getting back to having versatility and substance like the days of Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, Public Enemy, etc.? That's an awesome question. We talked about that earlier, man.
Yeah.
We look. I'm looking.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead,
I think it's gonna come back because it's funny he mentioned Busta Rhymes, who can put out a brand new album that's nothing but fire. Public Enemy, they still doing stuff. So I think if we can hit, it's just, that's just the way this business is. We can hit that Billboard charts and take over. Especially from a legendary MC, hip hop's going to do a drastic change.
Yeah,
because these cats are going to realize, like, whoa, they taking over the charts. But I mean, it's gonna take a while because, like I said, the young kids are, going with like Migos. Nothing against Migos because they do have they got some good material, but there's, like Eminem said at one time, there's 1,000 Migos out there.
Right.
Let them be me. Let them be them. Go try to go because I can't tell you how many groups just here in Florida, local groups that sound nothing but Migos. I'm like, well, dang, was that Offset? Oh, that's you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think I wouldn't try to sound like Migos. Do you?
Yeah.
Just get out there and just do you. Before you make a song, don't listen to nobody else. Just spit your bars how you feel.
Right.
Don't worry about sounding like it because Migos is established. They got their money. They got their hits. They good. So
that's true. Hey, that's a great question, Quincy. Thank you, brother. And he said that he said I missed that. No problem. We just answered that one for you. And Sky says she had her idea was a tour. So
well, maybe I can hook you guys up. Sky have a lot of ideas, but I think the bottom line is if we support, like you said, MC Light come out with a new music, or anybody come out with new music, we have to support that music so that it can get on the Billboard charts, because the bottom line is music. I mean, money. The bottom line is money. Whatever's going to make the money, that's what they're going to push.
That's true. That's very true.
We got to support that music and, buy it or, go to Spotify and download it or whatever, however you do it these days. But we just got to support, support one another, when we do find good music.
Right.
I also says, please share this broadcast. And she says, do you have to pay to be on the Billboard charts as part of the marketing plan?
You never had to be. But I know there's some things that deal with that I'm not sure of, because there's ways to you can pay them to be on the charts. It's not an ethical practice to do,
right.
But people do it, so that I'm not sure about. But I would tell her definitely research that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that called payola?
Payola? Well, that's funny because payola, which deals more with radio. And it used to never be allowed to do it. Now a lot of shows like, oh, you can be on I'll interview you for like $30. You can be on my show, I'll put in rotation for like $25-$30. So now it's kind of the thing to do. Unfortunately, back in the day it was more like they had to like your music and they put you on. Now you just have, you just got to pay them. So
that's crazy.
Payola, it exists, and it's not something that is not, it's a norm.
And also the Grammys too. They said they pay for the Grammys and things like that.
Oh, I fully believe that.
Yeah.
And you also got to watch too, when you're watching the Grammys or American music groups that they say, the groups they say that's going to be on the show, they're going to win something. I always tell people that because they're like, you ever watch the American Music Awards or the Grammys and watch who's going to perform. All the ones that perform, 9 out of 10, they're all getting an award. So it's not, they might come up there and act surprised. They know what they're getting.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, come on now. You know, when you see Jay-Z go up and perform with Beyonce and it's at, you know, a Grammy Award, one of them two are getting an award.
Right.
Or
right,
both.
right.
Yeah.
Or both, you know what I mean? So
Or
it's
both.
not like, you know, it's not like no big secret. Like when The Weeknd was protesting against him, which I kind of don't blame him because the man had a hit song. That song I heard in dentist office, doctor offices, Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, that song was everywhere, and he like ruled the charts. And for them to just you know, ignore it, I don't blame him for that.
Yeah. We got Sky Dawn. She says, "Hi, Quincy." Izzy Meditate. She says, "Hello, feel good talk,
Hey,
man."
Izzy.
What's going on, Izzy? Sky shoots back at Izzy. What's going on, Izzy? Quincy says, "This is a great question."
Yeah.
Yep.
This is a great conversation, Mike.
Brother.
You know?
Let's see. Wow. And she also says, AR, are you looking for high impression or IG? Which happens to be talented artists? What she say? Are you AR? I'm sorry, AR. Are now looking for high impressions on IG? What happens to? I guess she meant talented artists.
I'm assuming she means Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Maybe she's talking about that. Well, IG, yeah, that's Instagram, but I just didn't know.
I've seen a lot of talent on Instagram.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen a lot of talent on Instagram. I would like to work with some of them artists, but then, like I said, I just have to see how it goes or what they're into. Because like I said, nowadays all sometimes you don't even have to make a whole song. You make a 1 minute clip and you go viral.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to see, are they in it for the longevity of the business, or is this just something that, hey, I just want to get on here and go viral and
get some likes?
And, you know, yeah. So it's
here it is. A&Rs are now looking for numbers, but not talented artists. Yeah, why is that? The money.
It's all about money.
That's all it's about.
The bottom line. Yeah.
And
they're already established on social media.
Exactly. And Quincy says, "I love this discussion. This might need part 2." Hey, you might be right,
so, Quincy.
We might do that. Yeah,
because this is fascinating. I learned a lot.
Yep.
And I thought we were just going to come on here and talk about Thickalicious, Mike. You know? It's like you and Chuck was vibing, and that's a good thing. So, Chuck, you know,
we can do something. We can get some panelists up here. Hey, Quincy, you could be a panelist, brother. Let us know. Come on, be a panelist, and we can ask some questions and have a Q&A. You know. And
I think that's what's necessary.
Maybe
because it's a lot of interest, and I have a couple of other West Coast rappers that I'm trying to get on here too. So maybe we all can, you know, get together and just, you know, educate people on the business and, you know, answer a lot of questions. But I know it's Father's Day, and Chuck, you got an engagement, and Mike, you got some folks at your house, and you know, celebrating Father's Day. So we definitely need to do a part 2. Mike, where you at? Can you hear me? Okay.
He faded out a little bit. Hey, Quincy, I'm gonna send you that link too, brother. I'm gonna get you on here. We'll talk. I'm gonna get you on here so we can talk, and that'd be awesome. We got to set it up. We'll set it up soon because I think you know, I mean, it'd be great for the young artists definitely to hear this because there's a lot of young artists out there trying to make it, and they don't know which direction to go. So I think that'd be great, you know, to have something like that on here for them. So Quincy, I'm gonna get in contact with you, brother, and I'll put you down with that. So yeah, he'll be on the panel next time. And then we got Scott. She says, "Sorry for not translating from hip hop language. Laugh out loud." He actually, his phone died on him or something.
Oh, okay. It's all good.
And she says, "I be there." I know you will. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you.
This is a great conversation. And you know, I've known Mike for a while, and he's out there with his music, and he's loved plus size women. And I'm just so glad that he shared his Father's Day with us, Chuck. And I'm
That's
glad.
great. Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're back and I'm back and
Oh yeah, we back.
better
Yeah.
than ever.
So I gotta I want to that next topic though. I'll get some people that want to come on. So if we can find some anybody out there that want to come on and talk about this topic, that'd be awesome. So we can get some some great knowledge out there to these young guys and entrepreneurs out there trying to make it in the rap business, R&B business, whatever. So you'll know the importance of certain things and the questions you can get or would not normally get. And so you'll be educated on that. So that's something that we could have. So we'll
the
definitely
music business is tough.
You gotta watch
it's
it.
tough.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of sharks out there, and
yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. So we got some more comments out there. Quincy says absolutely. Yo, we'll definitely talk, Quince, definitely. And she says I'm gonna be okay. She just corrected what she said. And plus size is dope. Yes, it is.
Yes.
And she has one more. She says, I am the biggest fan of this show. Thank you, Scott.
And we appreciate you, Sky. Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to let the people know where they can find us at. They can find us on LinkedIn at Feel Good Talk, Facebook at Feel Good Talk, YouTube at FGT Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. Also at Instagram at Feel.GoodTalk, and you can email us at feelgoodtalk113@gmail.com. And I also want to show you the different shows that we do have here at Feel Good Talk. We got something for everybody here. And we got the live shows. We got Feel Good Talk Global 101 on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. That's what my man Naeem Najib. We also have Let's Talk About It on Thursdays at 7 p.m. That's what Izzy Meditates and Kendra Moore. We also have Williams World on Fridays at 6 p.m. That's my man, William Dickerson. We have Jamila J's Girl Talk. That's on today, Sundays at 3. Well, we came on a little early today, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's coming all the way from Cali. All right. Then every other Sunday, we have Give Me Some Sugar, Baking with Steven, my man Steve. He's on there. He's doing all kinds of stuff. So check out Steve. He'll kill me if you hear me calling Steven. I'm Steve. So Steven, check him out. He does his thing, all types of creations. We also have pre-recorded shows, Mindfulness Mondays with Izzy Meditates. That's Monday at 9. Words from the Heart with Shayna Gordine. That's Tuesdays at 9 a.m. We have More Life with Essential Oils on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. And on Saturdays, we have Cassandra's Corner every Saturday at 10 a.m. This is for the kids. She has something, arts and crafts, storytelling time, all kinds of stuff going on with Cassandra. So definitely check her out. So these are the different shows that we do have here at Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. And I don't know, it was a great show, Jamila.
It really was. Yeah.
I'd like to thank DJ Michael Blackwell, hip hop and R&B artist.
Yes.
That was an awesome conversation with him. So, I'm looking forward to the next big one. So,
yeah.
Yep.
All right, Chuck. I know it's Father's Day, and you know how we do it.
I had to do today, so I'm gonna go out there and do my thing. And again, I had a great time. Glad to be back, and we'll talk before the week is out. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So how do we do it?
We go out 1, 2, 3.
Peace.